Hi, welcome back to Therapy Designs. If you're new to this channel, my name is Kelly, and this channel is all about teaching you how to create print-on-demand designs that sell. And as a bonus, if you stay tuned to the end of the video, I will share a list of 5 specific niches that are selling right now that you can be working on. So, in today's video, I'm going to be going over with you how to both create this design and then how to upload it onto Amazon merch on all of the products, including the tumbler and including both sides of the tumbler. I'm also going to show you how I trademark checked it to make sure that it was safe. And I am going to share my SEO with you, so my titles, tags, and some of the research. So this is going to be a very long, very in-depth video. If you stay tuned until the end, I will be sharing a list of 5 niches that you guys can be working on right now as a thank you. So if you're interested in this, please do stick around. So right now I am on Canva, and this is going to be a full design upload tutorial for Amazon merch. So we're going to start on Canva. We got to start by making our design. And actually, I went ahead and skipped a step here. So the first thing you got to do is obviously think of the design. So for today's video, we're going to be doing a New Year's design for 2025. And the one I decided to come up with was more of a cowboy style one that said Howdy 2025. Now, to make sure that that design is not trademarked, the first thing I will do will be jump over to Trademarkia. So this is Trademarkia. And I will go ahead and type in what I'm going to make. So Howdy 2025, just to make sure that it is not trademarked. And so what I've got is 2025 AD, Howdy by itself. There's a lot of Howdies by itself. Goal 2025, howdy ho, howdy bus, the howdy, and you can see all sorts of different things. Lots of pages here, but if it was going to come up with an exact match, it would be at the top. So Howdy 2025 is not trademarked. By the way, you may know that there's these little symbols here. You can trademark different things for different categories. This is a lot of categories. What you're looking for specifically, is to make sure that it's not trademarked on clothing. So if you're doing a design for a t-shirt, it is okay if that saying is trademarked for, let's say, cars or for food. As long as it's not trademarked for clothing, you're still allowed to use it. So I know there's been some confusion there where people say, that's trademarked. But if it's not trademarked on clothing, then yes, you can use it. So you do have to make sure it is under the category of clothing, and there are different categories for you to be aware of. But see, here is clothing, which is class 025 clothing products. And so that would be howdy ho. You cannot use howdy ho on clothing. But we have now checked our Howdy 2025 is not trademarked, so now we can go ahead and design it. I'm going to go ahead and jump right back over to Canva. We're going to create the design by going to custom size here on the right-hand side of the page. We are going to be designing in pixels, and we're going to be using 4500 by 5400 pixels. So 4500 by 5400 pixels. Okay, that's what we are designing on for a t-shirt. When this prints, it will be above 300 DPI. I do have a video that I just made explaining the difference between DPI and pixels. But for now, just know that if you're designing for a t-shirt, 4500 by 5400 pixels will give you a DPI above 300 unless it is a t-shirt for an elephant or something. So a standard t-shirt, this would be perfect for. And for Amazon, because there are multiple products that we're going to put this design on, you want to be as flexible as possible with your design. So I'm going to go ahead and start by optimizing my background or my design for the darker colors. Darker colors do sell best on Amazon. So typically the top 3 selling colors, and this obviously varies depending on design, but you're going to see a lot of black, followed by the dark heather, followed by the navy, and then followed by the white for some reason. So those are the big ones, but usually the darker colors are going to sell better. So for New Year's, I'm definitely going to do a dark colored shirt. And like I said, we're going to do Howdy 2025. So I'm going to hit T on my keyboard. That's going to pull up a text box. I'm going to write Howdy. And I'm trying to do a pretty quick design for you guys so that I can get through this whole thing without it taking too long for you guys. By the way, if you stick around until the end, I do have a bonus 5 niches for you guys. And if you have any questions while we're going, you can drop those in the comment section below too. So here is my howdy. I'm going to go ahead and pull up another text box. This one is going to be 2025, except I'm going to leave a blank for the 0 because we are going to go ahead and use a disco ball for the 0 for the 2025. I have noticed that disco balls seem to be very popular for whatever reason. You know what, I'm going to keep that straight right now. And so I've seen a lot of disco ball style designs, especially for New Year's. And again, I wanted to do a cross niche. There are tons of New Year's designs that just say Happy New Year's. And that's great, but there are tons of them, and you're competing with a lot of other designs that'll just say Happy New Year's. And so if your design just says Happy New Year's as in more generic, you're going to have a ton of competition. It's going to be a lot harder for you to sell. You'll notice some of the Happy New Year shirts that don't specifically say the year. They just say Happy New Year's. Those have been around for multiple years, and they've been selling year after year after year. The bonus to not putting the year on it is, one, yes, you can sell it year after year. It also means that the person who buys it can wear it year after year after year. So it's their New Year's shirt. They can wear it every New Year's. If you have a shirt that says Happy New Year 2025, you've got less competition because you're only competing with the people that year. But it also means that you can only sell it that year, and that the people who buy it can only wear it that year. That tends to lean a little bit more towards returns, as a lot of people do buy shirts off of Amazon, wear it for one day, and then return it. So unfortunately, with New Year's, you might see a good number of returns. So just keep that in mind. I do put some New Year's designs up, but I don't put nearly as many New Year's designs up as I do like Christmas, for example. Anyways, back to the designing. That was just a little side note, you guys. I'm going to go ahead and look for a disco ball up here. So on the left-hand corner of the page, or left side of the page, if you go up to the tab that says Elements, we can do a search for elements, and I can do a disco ball. And there are tons of cool disco balls, photos, and graphics, lots that you can do. I wanted to make this, obviously, howdy, I wanted to do the cowboy style, but I also was thinking something like more of the pink, the coquette style is very popular, which is sort of those big pink bows. That's also been really popular this year. So anytime I can cross niche and try to combine things to make it a little bit more specific, it's going to do a little bit better because I'm not going to have as much competition, like I said, as just a generic one that says, you know, Happy New Year. So we're going to try to cross niche down and come up with something that's a little bit more original. And so, like, here's an example of a nice pink disco ball, and it will let me change the colors, so that's a good option there. Here's another one I really like. This one won't let me change the colors, but I like the little sparkles around it, and I think that that one looks really cool. Here is another one. This one's going to let me change the color, so again, I can pick colors on this one if I want to. And so just all sorts of fun disco balls. Here's one that already has a cowboy hat on it. You can do, I was going to put the bow on the ball and then the cowboy hat on the two, but you can do it any way that you like. Obviously, you can spend a long time looking through here trying to come up with whichever one you think looks best. Here's another one that's a little bit different. But I'm just going to go with this one because, you know what, it's right here. I like it. It'll work. Let's go ahead and shrink it down. So it's going to go something like that. Now we do need to pick our fonts. I don't want to go with this font. And so I want something bold. I want something fun. I did look around for a while. I searched bold fonts. I looked through all of my favorite fonts. I ended up coming up with, for the 2025, one called Dream to Birch. There it is, Birch. So that is a nice, fun font. By the way, this is one that I got off of Creative Fabrica. So there's tons of fonts you can get off of Creative Fabrica and then upload onto Canva. And so that's how I got this one, but there's also tons of fonts available to you on Canva. So there is my 2025. Oops, let me click off of that for a second. I'm going to go ahead and send it to the back. And to send it to the back, I'm just going to hit Control in my left bracket. And I can do that until it goes to the back. And the whole point of that is just I want to be able to grab my disco ball. Once I got a hold of my disco ball, I can go ahead make my disco ball nice and big. So I want it to, you know, fill the space there, look like it goes. I can always change the spacing here of the letters or the numbers if I need to. But that actually looks pretty good. And then I was going to go ahead and go to the howdy. And again, I want to pick a font there. Again, something bold, something that looks like it goes with this, but I wanted to do something a little bit different. And after searching for a little bit, the font that I came up with was one called Black Sample. And there it is. And this is another one that I did get off of Creative Fabrica, but again, there's tons of font options available in Canva, and Creative Fabrica has tons of free fonts as well that you can upload. I do have links in the description below this video, links for Creative Fabrica if you like, so you can find that. And I do also, if you go to my channel and you go ahead and search the videos, I do have a video on how to download free fonts from Creative Fabrica and upload them onto Canva, so you can find that video too. And so now we're going to go ahead. I'm going to make this nice and big. I'm going to go ahead and take this whole thing, maybe make it a little bit smaller, move it down on the page. Just I want to have space where I can work, because the howdy I'm thinking I'm going to bring up. I'm going to make the howdy kind of go across the page nice and big. So I'm thinking something like that. The 2025, I want to go ahead and group this together. So to group something together, just go ahead and left click, hold it down, and then highlight what you want to group together. Once you've got it highlighted, you can move it, resize it as one. You can also hit this group here, and that'll automatically keep it grouped together for you. So now I can move and resize that and angle it. And I was thinking about angling it somewhere in here like that. Maybe something like that there. Maybe down a little bit, because I am going to have room. I'm going to put a little bow here and a little cowboy hat here. But so far I see the way that that's working. Looks good. Next I wanted a pink bow. And there's all sorts of cool pink bows. Again, you can pick whatever you like. This is a nice cute one here. And I can shrink that way down, bring that up onto the disco ball, angle it, something like that. And that might be a cool one there. And again, you can pick any of these, but for speed's sake, I'm just going to go ahead and use that one. And then I also wanted a cowboy hat. And again, there's all sorts of fun cowboy hats. Here's one that's already pink and it's got some stars on it. Here's another one that's pink. This one will let me change the colors, which is nice. There's pink, you know, cow printed one. That's kind of cool there too. So you can do any of the styles that you want. Let's just go with the regular pink though. We'll keep that pretty simple. And I was going to angle that pink one and put it on top of the two. So it's going to make it a little bit smaller there, make it look like it's sitting on top of the two. By the way, you can use the arrows on your keyboard, so the up, down, left, right arrows to move any of the elements one pixel at a time. So if you want to make little itty bitty fine adjustments and you're having trouble with your mouse, go ahead and just use those arrows on the keyboard, up, down, left, right, and it'll move any element you want just a little bit at a time. So there we go. That looks pretty cool there. Okay, so I do like the way that that is looking. I might angle that a smidge there. And now what I'm thinking is let's look at some colors. So lots of colors that I wanted to do here. I'm thinking of maybe a light pink here for these. And so I can pick any of the colors either off of, it's got the colors from the hat, it's got the colors from the bow. I can pick colors off of that. But let's go ahead and start with a nice light pink color there. And then maybe for the 2025, maybe a slightly darker pink, something like that. Okay, so I played with the colors a little bit, but pretty much I tried to match all of the colors that I used to the disco ball here. So I got lots of different shades in there. I also thought I might go ahead and just do a little outline around here, might make it look cool. What I can do is do a darker outline. That way, if I wanted to put it on a lighter color shirt, I've got the option. Again, black shirts tend to sell best, but then after black and dark heather and navy, then the white shirt will sell well. So if you can get it on both, that's awesome. So I can throw an outline around here, and I can pick from different, colors that I want to from the outline. So I can try to do that and see if that doesn't look cool. So right now they have the same color outline, which works okay. And right now I just went with all pink tones. You'll also notice that for New Year's style designs, the golds also work really well. So I went with the coquette style, but of course you can also do things where you throw those golds and other things in. I just wanted to make this design real quick, you guys, so I could also show you guys how you can go ahead and then download it and upload it onto Amazon. So it looks pretty cool right now. It'll work good on black. If I was to change the background color to white, it will also pop on white, so I could do it either on white or black, or even, yes, a dark heather it would work on. And so because it's gonna work okay on all of the basic colors, I'm going to go ahead and stick with it as is. So right now I can title it up here, Howdy 2025. And once I have it the way I like it, I can go ahead and then go up to share and go to download. It's a PNG. You want it to be a transparent background because you don't want that gray to be printed on the shirt. You just want the design. And we're going to go ahead and hit download. Now that will save it to your download section, and from there we can jump over to Amazon Merch and I can show you guys how you can upload this. So right now I am on Amazon Merch and I am on the Create tab. So for the Create tab, this is where you're going to create all of your products. And over here you can see selected products. Now you can see all of the products listed here, and then obviously across the top we've got our different marketplaces. So if you want to put it all up at once, you would go all, and we can throw it up over everything. Now, I don't usually do that, and the reason is if for any reason it gets rejected, and sometimes things will get rejected for reasons that you could never have even thought of, then you're going to get something like 70 rejections. And you don't want that because too many rejections and Amazon could decide to close your account. So it's always better safe. So typically, what I would do is I would start with just the standard shirt in the United States, and make sure that it gets through and that it's safe. Assuming it gets through and it's safe, my next step would then be to upload to all of the products in the United States. Once that is done, then I would go ahead and upload just to the standard shirt, but across all of the different marketplaces, and make sure that that is safe before I go ahead and do everything. Sometimes things get messed up in translation, and things that are safe in the United States end up rejected in another marketplace because the translation was either not good or translated it into something that was not okay. And so I have seen that happen. I've also seen different laws where it's okay, for example, to put, marijuana type shirts up on the United States market, but you can't do it on some of these other markets. It will get rejected, which is why I always check first, make sure everything is safe before I put it on everything. Now that is just my way. It takes a little bit of extra time to do it that way, but I want to make sure my account stays safe. Because I have already done this and I know that it's safe, I'm going to go ahead and do it over all of the products in the United States, just so you can see the product upload for everything. So I hit continue. And so now all of the products are going to be activated. And what we're going to do is go ahead and click here. It's going to pull up your downloads, and you can go ahead and select the download that you just made on Canva. Now, sometimes it takes a second before it starts showing up on all the products, but there we go. So it's got my download and it's got all of the products. Now we can edit the details here. So when we go to edit details, it is going to go ahead and show you the different fit styles, and then the different colors and the different prices for each of the marketplaces. And you can obviously scale and recenter the design here. So starting with the t-shirt, first thing you do is it safe for youth? Okay, if you check the youth box, it's safe for youth. But if you did something like, let's say, an adult beverage type design, you would not want to put the youth box. That will automatically lead to a rejection, and it will reject the entire batch. So even if you only had the youth box checked on just the standard t-shirt, it will reject all of the products because of that one thing. So that's another reason to be very careful. You accidentally check something that shouldn't be checked and it will be an entire group rejection. So there we go. So this is safe for youth. Okay. So I'm going to offer it men, women, and youth. And then you can go ahead and pick the colors. It used to be limited to only 10 colors, but now we've got lots of colors to choose from. So you can go ahead and as you flip through here, you can see if it looks good on different colors. Like, ooh, no, I wouldn't do that. That one looks okay. Probably not. That one looks okay. I don't know about the light gray. Probably not. Probably not. Don't really want the green. Looks great on white. Looks okay on some of those slate grays. You know, different kinds. I probably don't need too many grays. Here's a blue. That'll work. Red, probably not. Purple, sure. Well, it kind of looks washed out on that pink, so I probably wouldn't. Probably wouldn't do the olive green either. Navy, again, that's a big one. And you can go through and see which ones you think it looks cool on. Maybe. And maybe. Okay, so you can pick as many as you like now. You didn't used to. We can also go ahead and pick a price. So right now, the main price is set at $18.99. For New Year's shirts, because this is something that they're only going to usually wear once. I mean, it's really only good for New Year's, and that's it. I'm going to price it down a little bit. You'll probably notice if you do some research that most of the New Year's shirts that are selling are cheaper than maybe some of your more evergreen style shirts. You'll also notice that because there's a chance that you're going to get, you know, a good amount of returns for New Year's because people wear the shirt once and then sometimes return it, I will go ahead and probably make this a little bit cheaper. So I wouldn't go any higher than probably $16.99 or less, which would still give me, you know, $2.67 royalties for every one sold. And it didn't take me too long to create that design. So it's, you know, pretty good. And so I'm going to go ahead and you go through all of these. So the premium shirt, this is only offered in the United States. Again, I'll check the youth box. I think that that's okay. I'll go through the different colors, and if I think that the colors work good, I'll go ahead and click on them. And so some of those are nice. Again, $18.99 for the premium shirt. Okay, I'll do that. V-necks, same thing. I'm going to go through and just start selecting my colors. And if I think the color works, I'll click it and only select what you think works. You can look at the prices. Again, not too bad for a V-neck. We've got our long sleeve shirts here. They don't offer as many colors on the long sleeves. They're just going to do, you know, the main ones that tend to sell the best. And they offer the heather if you've got something that would only look good on a lighter shirt. And so, not a super fan of the royal blue, so I probably do that. Here, I'd probably just go ahead and go with the whites, and probably not with the reds, maybe with the blue. And again, I'm just going to go ahead and start going through the different colors to see what I think looks good. Kind of fades out on that one. Okay. And by the way, here's where you can resize. So for the ones up here, it was already like 100% scale. Once we start getting to the sweatshirts, it kind of scales it down. So I can go ahead and do that and make sure it's in there. This button here will center it. Again, I can go down on those sweatshirts too. So let's say I want to go down to $29.99 for this sweatshirt, just so it's a little bit more competitively priced. Maybe even for this one too, $29.99 is probably better. And so we'll keep going down. Here we've got our zip-ups. One note about the zip-ups. Sometimes I'll do a back print because some people like the back print on the sweatshirt. It does tend to cost more that way. But if you want to do a back print, you could do here and you can upload it to the back. And so that's one way to do it. For the zip ones, sometimes I'll go ahead and shrink the design way down and put it as the pocket style design. So it is kind of more the design that you would see on a zip up where you've got it just sort of right on the chest. And so something like that. And I've sold quite a few sweatshirts with that design style there. And you can also put it on the back too. So you could do print front and back. That is going to change your price so that you'll have to make sure that your price works well. So let's say I wanted to make this $30.99. I want to get rid of that. I think I'll get rid of that too because it doesn't look as good, but it's going to work pretty good on the black. And then we've got our pop sockets here. And again, I can resize it so that it takes up most of the space, but I don't want it to go outside of that circle because that is my safe area. So I can do something like that and try to keep everything more or less inside that safe area. And I can do something like that. I might actually shrink it down because I do want it to be a little higher in the page. I want to make it as big as I can, but without it, you know, obviously going out of the page. And I do want it to be a little higher up. So that looks good there. Again, phone cases, they only have the iPhone case now. They got rid of the Samsung case. And we'll go ahead and go black. And again, you can look at the prices and we can see all the different cases that are offered right now. We can go to the tote bag. Again, black. And I can resize that. The tote bag is one where I'll lower the design a little bit in the bag so that it looks a little bit more centered. If I centered it in the print box, like here, you'll see it goes up a little bit higher. That might be okay for this one, but some of them, you know, you don't want it to look like it's just right at the top of the bag. You want it to look relatively centered. I mean, that looks pretty good there. Pillows, again, this is where you're picking the back colors too, by the way. So here you've got colors to select from. Here you can pick whatever back color you want. And so I went with black because I think it pops the best on black. But here's where you could just select any color that you wanted as a background color. So stop and think about, well, if somebody was going to buy, you know, this product, what background color might they like the most, or for this particular niche or this particular design, what does it look best on? I'm going to stick with black because I do like that pink and black. I think it pops. And then the tumbler is the newest item. So far, I've only sold one tumbler, but I have not put, it doesn't automatically upload all your designs onto Tumblr. So all of the designs that I've already had up, I'm going to have to go and upload it to the Tumblrs or wait until it starts auto-uploading. I don't know if it'll do that there. But I can go ahead, select all of the colors because I do think it looks good on all of them, by the way. Now, here is where you might want to get another design. So if we do this, it's going to show just on the front, but it's not going to show on the back, okay? If I want to put it on the back, I'm going to have another, pretty much another print file that's more of this rectangular style, and I'm going to have to put one in the front and one in the back. So it depends whether you want this printed on both sides or not. So some people like it, some people don't. I caution you with the all over print, by the way, because if you do an all over print, this does not go top to bottom. It will, as you can see with the black, it'll still give you the silver at the top and the bottom, or with the white, it'll still give you the silver at the top of the bottom. So you're not going to end up with a full print top to bottom. You're still going to get those borders. And so keep that in mind if you do an all over print thing. If you want to do front and back, you can. We can get rid of this. And we could go back over to our Howdy design if we wanted to. And we could try to go ahead and resize it a little bit. You would need to know the dimensions. So again, most of these will give you dimensions if you want. So get product templates. I could click and give it a sec. And so it's telling me to do 3,000 pixels by 14,000 pixels for the tumblers. And so it's giving you the dimensions for each. Here's the t-shirts, 4,500 by 5,400 pixels. So if anybody's got questions about why I select 4,500 by 5,400 pixels, that is why, okay? So it's the biggest one, so it does cover everything. And you can see if you got 4,500 by 5,400 pixels, it will cover all of the clothing and it will shrink down just fine for everything else that's smaller. And so just so you're aware, but here we go, tumblers. So 3,000 by 14,000 pixels, or sorry, 1,400. So I could go over here and I could go to resize and I could do a custom resize. And so my custom resize could be width of 3,000 by, was it 1,400 pixels, and I can copy and resize. and open. And so now what we have is our mug. So what I'm going to have to do here is group all of this together so I can right click anywhere outside of my design. I want to scroll over everything and hit group. There's my design. Now what I can do is take my design, hit Control D, and I've got a duplicate copy. And so I can put, one copy on one side and one copy on the other side. And so you can do it like that. You do want to, keep track of where everything is. I've got the rulers and guides, pulled up here. So if I wanted to, I can drag a center line to figure out where my center line is to make sure everything's centered. If you don't have your rulers and guides up, you can hit Shift R on your keyboard. That'll pull up your rulers and guides. Or you can go over to File, Settings, and then right there it'll say Show Rulers and Guides, and it says Shift R. And so that's how you would do that. Now, I can decide how big I want this to be. Keep in mind, as I go back over to my Amazon merch, that there is a little center gap here. And so this is kind of like a square, square, center gap. And so when I go back over to my design, I want to make sure that I've got, center gap space. Oops, keeps doing that. So let's say I did something like that. And there's my center gap. I could go ahead, maybe say, I'm going to make it a little bit bigger and move it up the page a little bit because I want it higher up on the tote or on the drink. And then I can go ahead, hit Control D. That'll automatically give me the same size. So I don't have to even worry about trying to resize it. And again, up, down, make sure it's centered. Try to space it right. So something like that. So let's say I did howdy and I went ahead, shared, download, still transparent backgrounds, hit download. There we go. Go back over to Amazon. I can click here, pull up my downloads again, and this time I can upload the one that I have for my Tumblr. And there we go. So now I've got the howdy on both sides. So it'll show howdy on the front and it will show howdy on the back. And I can take the whole thing too if I want to and move it up on the page like that. So I can have it higher or lower on my drink design. And I can hit preview and it just kind of shows you that preview look. And so there you can see the gapping. Okay. But again, you don't have to do front and back. You can just go ahead and use your original one and put it on everything. So you don't have to do a front and back. You just have that option. So I wanted you guys to know how you could do that. Again, we're going to come down here. That's an old title. And now we have to go ahead and come up with titles. Tags are optional, by the way. You don't have to do that unless you think that you want to try to get some more keywords in there. Brand, caveat on brand. I put my brand in here because I'm trying to grow the brand, so Therapy Designs. But you may notice if you start looking at some of the top selling shirts on Amazon, especially the ones that have been up for years, the brand is almost like another title. They don't actually put a brand name in here. They pretty much use it as another excuse to keyword stuff. And so you'll see lots of the top sellers where the brand doesn't look so much as a brand as it does just the title reworded to try to put more keywords in. So you can include your brand. If you don't have a big brand or you're not trying to grow your brand, you can certainly use that brand space to add more keywords, but just be careful how you do that. So when it comes to the title and tags or the SEO, there's things that you want to take into consideration. You want to use long-tailed keywords, which essentially means use whatever is on your shirt or use whatever's on your design. So my design says Howdy 2025. I definitely want to include that in my title. But people who are just generically searching probably wouldn't be searching for Howdy 2025. They'd probably be searching for, New Year's Eve shirt, right? Or New Year's Eve party shirt, something like that. And so I also want to include that. The idea is that people might do two searches, a broad search and a narrow search. So they may start by hitting New Year's Eve, shirt and see what comes up. And if they find a saying that they like, then they might do a secondary search for that saying. So they might see one that says Howdy 2025, decide they like it, and then do a secondary search for that. So you almost want to have the generic search and your specific search included, at least in your keywords, as best as possible. And then for your product features, you can include more keywords, but don't unnecessarily include every keyword known to man. Think about what people might be searching for. When it comes to New Year's, you're going to get New Year's shirt, right? New Year's 2025, New Year's celebration, New Year's party. You might have countdown party, things like that. Because we went with howdy, we might do more country style. We might use the words coquette or pink because people might be searching for pink New Year's Eve shirt, or coquette style New Year's Eve shirt, or country New Year's Eve shirt. So we want to try to get all of these words in our titles and tags in as organic of a way as possible. Now, don't use the word gift. Amazon doesn't like that anymore, but you'll notice a lot of the older listings that are doing well did include the word gift. They used to use that all the time because most people are buying things as gifts, and most people will search like gift for 8-year-old or something like that. Well, you can't do that anymore. Amazon says don't do that anymore. So you got to be a little bit more careful with your words. You can still use kids, adults, boys, girls, men's, women's, matching group designs are great. Some people like to have matching shirts or matching outfits, so matching designs. So these are all words that you can include in your titles and tags. When in doubt, you can also go straight to the source. Go to Amazon, see what's selling, look at their titles and tags, see how they constructed them and how what kinds of keywords that they used. Obviously, don't copy anybody's, but it'll give you a good idea. So if I was to go over to Amazon right now, and I just did a broad search here for New Year's shirt. So New Year's shirt, here's what I came up with. We can see some of these are sold by Amazon, some of them aren't, but the ones sold by Amazon, we've got Happy New Year's outfits, New Year, same awesome me. That's what that one says. So they used a long-term keyword there. Here is one that just says Happy New Year. And we can see a lot of those golds and blacks are really popular. This one's priced down really low, but it's got a lot of sales. So this one is doing really well and it's priced really low. In fact, all of these are priced in that $13 range. One at $15, $14 there, but they're all priced pretty low, all the ones that are selling. And so what we can do is look, only this one is bought in the past month. This one has 50 bought in the past month. None of the other ones have anything bought in the past month. So let's say I want to use this example here and click on this one. Happy New Year. This one does not give the actual year, which means that this is one that sells year after year after year. But they did update the name. So Happy New Year Party Supplies 2025 Family Matching Fireworks Tee, right? They even included their brand, but then also put a New Year's thing next to it. If we scroll down for their about, New Year's Eve fireworks, artistic design, Happy New Year 2025, great to wear on the 31st of December to celebrate the new year, excellent present, ooh, shouldn't use that word, for relatives, friends, unique as relatives matching tee, Happy Christmas, Happy 2025. There's a lot of keyword stuffing going on here. Wait for the 2025 to chime with this New Year's Eve outfit. Hello, 2025, Happy New Year. 2024, 31st December 2025 loading. So they really tried to start using a lot of keywords. So what you can do, what they did here, is think about other long-term keywords people might be searching for. So I said people might be searching for, Howdy 2025, for example. People might also be searching for things like Happy New Year, or they might be searching for 2025 loading, for example. That would be another shirt that they might do. So if you know the names of other shirts, sometimes you can include those in your description so that even if somebody does a specific search for a niche, yours may pop up. Those are things to consider. As I scroll down, by the way, I can see when this was put up. So this was originally available in 2022. So they probably put it up in 2022, and every year they just change the description to change the year to 2025. But beyond that, this has been up for a lot of years, okay? So this is by no means a new shirt. It's been up for a couple of years already. But that'll give you an idea of some of the things that people are doing. And this one has made some sales. This one's a little bit brighter in color, so I do like that, but still gonna be, you know, pretty popular. As I come over here, I did want to show you this. So this one still has good ratings. So 4.6 is still pretty good ratings. It's been around for a long time. This one has that gold glitter mask, okay? And so even with the gold glitter mask, people bought it and it still had pretty good ratings. And we can see it says Happy New Year 2025 shirt, New Year's Eve party countdown firework t-shirt. And so you can see some of the words they use there. This one says, check the product details and customer reviews because this is a frequently returned item. Frequently returned, maybe because it's a New Year's shirt and people wear it once and return it. Maybe because some people were upset because they thought that was real glitter and it wasn't. And so those are things to consider there too. If I go down, by the way, this one was put up in 2023. Okay, so it's still a little bit old. There's only 9 ratings. 1.5 or 2.5. Oh, I guess 9 ratings. So 64% 5-star, 36% 4-star. So even this one that says, nice shirt, not sparkly. They were expecting it to be glittery, but it's just printed that way. But they put still very nice and festive, and they still gave it a 4-star review. So even with the glitter, people do still like it. It does still look good. So anybody who has concern about the glitter mask, there's something to consider. Anyways, back to merch. Okay, so after doing some research, here's what I've come up with for my title design, tags, and everything for this particular design. I put New Year's Eve 2025, countdown party, howdy 2025 matching tee. Okay, so there was a lot of keywords in here, but I kept my howdy 2025 in case somebody's doing a specific search. And I also did my New Year's Eve 2025, countdown party tee. So I included all of that there. In the description here, we've got this festive coquette style disco ball with pink cowboy hat New Year's design. So I went ahead and described the design, including the keywords of coquette, disco ball, pink, cowboy. And I put says howdy 2025. So what it says: perfect design for kids or adults to wear to celebrate the end of 2024 and the beginning of 2025. Perfect design for matching group tees for family or friends for country-themed New Year's parties. Okay, so a lot of keywords in there, but it still sounds like a description that's organic as opposed to just keyword, comma, keyword, comma, keyword, comma. Amazon does not like that. They do want it to sound like an actual sentence and description, but still packing a ton of keywords in there. So that is what I have for my title and tags. And again, with this particular design, I was going for something that was going to be a little bit more unique. So you could put up a bunch of just, Happy New Year designs or, Happy New Year 2025 generic designs, but you're going to have a lot of competition and it's going to be hard for your design to stand out amongst others. If you can find a way to niche down and be specific, you're going to end up with a lot less competition. And it's just, it's better to do that than to do something very broad. So anyways, once you have all of this down and you're happy with the way it looks, we can go down to publish. By the way, if you're doing this on multiple, if you were doing it on multiple marketplaces, there will be a spot for translation where it can translate for you. If you're going to put up multiple versions of the same design, so let's say I had this in multiple different versions or slightly different styles, I can go over here and hit Save Publish Settings. What that's going to do is it will save your titles and tags, and it will also save the colors that you selected up here for the shirts. So if I did have multiple versions, I wouldn't have to do that all again. So if I wanted to, I could just hit Save Publish Settings. That would save it for me. Obviously, it's searchable. It appears in Amazon search results versus not searchable. I'm not sure why you would want to do that, but there's a not searchable option. Make sure yours is searchable. And then you would go ahead and hit publish. It will take Amazon a little bit of time usually to review it and then for it to actually upload. But then it will be available pretty quickly on Amazon for people to go ahead and buy. So when you hit publish, you're going to see something that says confirm your products. You're submitting a design to all of those products, right? They will be searchable, and you go ahead and hit publish, and that's it. And there you go. It says creating your products, and from here you can either go to create another new product, or you can go back to your manage page. And then just so you can see, this is a slightly different version, but it's still my design, similar. So the Howdy 2025, and it's got my brand, and then it's got the title, and you scroll down and here are all the tags that we just came up with. So again, if you have any questions about this, drop it in the comments section below. I try to get back to everybody as quickly as I can. I know this was a very long video, but I did want to do a complete start to finish for anybody who is new at this and really needs a start to finish example of what it takes. Again, because you guys were so patient, if you've stuck around this long, I will be sharing another 5 niches with you guys, okay? So as promised, here are your bonus 5 niches that are selling right now that you guys can be working on. So number 1, let's get lit. And you'll see this with a lot of the Christmas trees that are all lit up with lights, okay? Number 2, on the naughty list, and I regret nothing. Number 3, this is my Christmas pajama shirt. Those are very popular, by the way. Number 4, candy cane crew. And number 5, Dear Santa, my brother did it. I hope you guys found this video useful. Again, if you have any questions, throw it in the comment section below. If you have any video requests, you can put that in the comment section below. And I hope you guys are doing really well with your 4th quarter sales. That's it for today's video. If you found that useful and would like to see more videos with helpful tips and tricks, be sure to hit like and subscribe and turn on your notifications so you don't miss any of the weekly videos. As always, keep growing and stay creative, and we'll see you next time.